Falcon Nation, Falcon fans, it is week 10 in the NFL, and DFU is here to bring you your pregame show. It is your Atlanta Falcons versus the New Orleans Aints, hashtag they not like us. Shout out to the wife for the shirt that she made. Much love to all the Falcon fans that tune in tonight. Hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already, man. It's a big matchup today, boys. A chance to sweep another NFC opponent. Not one, but two sweeps here this season if you can get this dub today in New Orleans. Philip, Cody, enough of me chatting, man. What's going on? It's game day. How we feeling?
I'm feeling confident, ready to run through this, whatever you want to call that, trash at the stadium. I'm ready to go in there and take over. Shout out to all the Dirty Bird fans that's down in New Orleans right now. Y'all showed out, by the way. So shout out to all of you.
Shout out to the Rise Up Tour. Shout out to the Rise Up Tour. Michael and my guy Jack doing the big parade. Police escorted, marching band and all. So they paid to do this. So, like, Falcon fans went to New Orleans and took over New Orleans streets. That was dope to see. Shout out to the Rise Up Tour. Cody, what's going on, man? It's game day in New Orleans. Your Atlanta Falcons face the New Orleans Saints for week 10 here. Your last matchup with the Saints because they're not making the playoffs. Let's be for real. So you should come away today with this W against the Saints. Cody, what's going on, man? How are you feeling today? It's game day. As we said, big stakes here for the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, man, I'm feeling really confident. I would say I've seen a lot of Falcon fans down there in Swamp Town. So, like you say, man, we just got to go down, handle business, knock out our second NFC South division opponent, sweep them out. I feel like it's going to be a home game for the Falcons looking at, the amount of Falcon fans that are down there. So, guys, go in there, be loud, be safe. We know how their fans are. So, just be careful down there cheering on our Dirty Birds. But looking forward to a good one today.
Yes, sir. Don't take none of their shit, man. Don't take it.
Don't get shot up in New Orleans. You are in New Orleans. You are on their stomping turf. So do not get shot up in New Orleans, Falcon fans. We want to see you make a safe trip back to Atlanta. But let's definitely have a good time down in New Orleans. I'm sure as all you have that's traveled to go see the Falcons play. It's a fun experience when you're on the road watching your Birds play, man. You got other people there with you. But enough about that, man. We have a game to talk about, and let's break it down. Let's be for real. We keep it 100% here on DFU. The first matchup, week 4, I believe it was, against New Orleans Saints. Your offense put up 0 touchdowns against the New Orleans Saints. You came away with 2 turnovers by your defense, which kind of helped you in that game. Younghoe Koo with the field goals that solidified the win. You've got to do better this matchup, right, guys? This is week 10 now. We've grown as a team. We should be able to put up at least 14 points, and that's within 2 touchdowns on these New Orleans Saints. I expect at least 2 to 3 touchdowns today. Philip, Cody, we spoke on the recipe to success. We talked about Cody's killer facts of the game, keys to success. But let's be for real. We didn't talk about not scoring last time against these Saints. We've got to put touchdowns up today, and that starts early. Cody, we'll start with you and then go to Philip. How do you get touchdowns on this Saints defense that know your offense so well, that faces you twice a season? So, yes, it is harder to score against these types of teams. But, Cody, how do you break that code? How do you get in the end zone today with a Darnell Mooney or perhaps a Drake London that will start today in New Orleans?
He is starting, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, now, the thing that we have to remember is that this team isn't the same team that we saw in week 4. This team is clicking together. This team is kind of, Zach Robinson is kind of is starting to really figure things out. Kirk is obviously should be in the running for MVP. He already he just won the midseason comeback player of the year. So this is a different Falcon team that this New Orleans Saints team is going to see, than what they did week 4. But the key to this thing is it starts with Tyler Algier, man. It's going to start with Tyler Algier. You have to get him involved early. You have to get Tyler the ball. Wear down that defensive front because, the two Achilles heels that we've got when we play the Saints every time is a Taysom Hill and a Cam Jordan. You have to, and Alvin Kamara, obviously. So what you have to do is you have to wear out that New Orleans front. Wear them out with Tyler. When it's late and their legs are heavy, you start giving the ball to Bijan, let him do Bijan things. And so you open up, and one of the other things you could do, we talked about on our podcast on Tuesday was, the Saints just traded away Lattimore. Their secondary is weak. Their secondary isn't very, they're having issues in their secondary with, depth. So attack them. go after, what is Kirk killing people with Darnell Mooney with those little screens, the little slants, things like that. Cut him up, tear him up, and then that opens it up for Tyler and Bijan. And then, you know what? Take a deep shot to Drake. Take one to Mooney. Let him take the top off when these guys are so beat up thinking, well, the Falcons have just sat here and pounded the rock on us. And here they go again. And now you've got Drake London. You've got Kyle Pitts, open up in the middle of the field. So, pound the rock, wear them out, and take the business.
Absolutely. Philip, Cody, I want to say something about you. You were speaking about the screens and such. When the screens aren't working, Zach Robinson, please do not continue to run screen pass.
Especially after we have a penalty and get back that 5 yards. Why is that your go-to thing? You've been doing your thing so far, but certain things like that just kill me. Don't panic when we're in a situation where we get a penalty 5 yards. Continue to attack. Don't be scared.
You also want to get these penalties under control. I'm tired of the costly penalties on a good drive when the team seems to need to go get this touchdown to take a 2-point lead, and you can't because of a holding penalty on first down that just pulled back a 20-yard run. Right. That alone ruins the momentum of players, the speed of players, how they feed off of each other. So you've got the momentum. You've got to keep the momentum in New Orleans. You cannot go in New Orleans and let this Aints stick around in this game, because this is one of those games where if you let them stick around, it can be a dogfight until the very end. Philip, recipe to success, touchdowns is the key today in New Orleans. Philip, how do you get in the end zone with this offense that you weren't able to do in week 4?
Yeah, it's kind of like Cody said. We're not the same team that we are or were in week 4. We seem like we're more gelled in together, like we're on the same page now. That's the most important thing that you could have right now in this position that we are heading in this late season. We got another game than bye, but it is important to go ahead and get on the right page and get ready to head into the playoffs. So because we're heading into that direction. But today the key, I would have to say, I agree with him again. You slice and dice, like you slice and dice through the offense with these small passes, but don't go, I'm not saying string passes. I'm talking about like these short passes like you've been doing, like the same route that Mooney and Drake has. One of the two is going to be open. That kills everybody. You pick your poison on that. And then that's going to open up the run game. That's when you get the ball. In my opinion, with a tough defense like this, a hard rock tough defense, I would hand it to, Tyler Algier, but Bijan also has a little hate for the Saints, so he balls out every time against these guys, and I'm here for it. So it gives the chance for them to do their own thing.
It's been a game now. It's been a game where you've seen Kyle Pitts there those multiple weeks in and out, week in, week out, that he was putting up those 2 catches, but he was going over 80 yards a game damn near as a tight end. And last week you didn't see him so much. A name that we haven't thrown up a lot on this podcast this past week is Kyle Pitts. Could Kyle Pitts be a factor today in New Orleans? And if he could, this could be where you unlock that 3-touchdown blowout deficit. If you can get a run game, a Drake London, a Darnell Mooney, a Kyle Pitts, all 3 cooking with a secondary that's already shallow, losing their best player, Lattimore, to be a trade to the Washington Commanders. So today is the day the Atlanta Falcons make an outstanding dub, and I'm calling it now on the pregame show. The Atlanta Falcons win today's game over 14 points today in New Orleans and walk away with a 2-time sweep here this season. Shout out to Mateo in the comment section here. He says, beat those Aints by 50 today. My guy, Ron Thomas in the chat said, what up, everyone? Ron, glad to have you here. Sterling Woods in the chat. EQRC in the chat. Mateo, confession, my new boo thing is Aints fans, y'all. We still beating they ass. Rise up, man. Rise up. We got a big game ahead of us, man. And I want this to be the game to where we make that statement. Before we go in, take the Denver Broncos. We beat them on the away. You take your bye week, and it's time to start chopping up wins. The Atlanta Falcons can get on a speedboat, whatever you want to call it, speed rail here after this break. If you get a dub today and you go and beat Denver Broncos in Denver, Falcon fans, buy your playoff tickets because you're going to the playoffs. If you win these next 2 games, book on a playoff ticket.
Oh, we were supposed to wait, Bob?
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
We were supposed to wait?
With our news segment, because Mr. Robert does so well on the hot takes, Mr. Robert not able to make it here for the pregame show, but will be with us at the postgame show. Shout out to Robert. Hot takes, any last-minute hot takes, fellas, before we get out of here and eat some grub and watch these Dirty Birds play some football. Hot takes here for your Atlanta Falcons on your Atlanta Falcon DFU pregame show.
I'll go. Last time
says Drake is out today. Mooney and Ray on the 1s and 2s. Drake is not out today. He is
active
to play. He is expected to play today,
which is crazy.
So we'll see Draco.
But last go around, we had in New Orleans, we had Bijan have a outstanding 75-yard reception touchdown. I see something similar today, and alongside with running with almost 100 yards today. And I'm gonna put that on Bijan. I'm kissing his ass today.
Okay. I'm gonna give you a rundown quick before we get to our hot takes for the Falcon fans in the chat. Your inactives for today: running back Jace McClellan, inside linebacker J.D. Bertrand with the concussion, inside linebacker Rashawn Evans. I'm so ready to see this guy back in a Falcon uniform. Rashawn Evans, defensive lineman Brandon Doris, ready to watch him as well. Offensive lineman Javon Gwynn. Offensive lineman Elijah Wilkinson, and tackle Brandon Parker. Your Atlanta Falcons have their first string offense back on the field. There's no starter that is injured that is not on this inactive list. So shout out to the Atlanta Falcons for getting back healthy. 2 games away from the bye week. You hope to get a lot of players back after that bye week. Cody, enough of the inactive list. Hot take for these Atlanta Falcons. We're promptly 20 minutes away from watching these Birds take on Week 10. Cody, hot takes for today, brother.
Yeah, so I'm gonna stay with my hot take from Tuesday. I would say we're gonna have 7 touchdowns, 3 on the ground, 4 in the air. Kyle Pitts is gonna go absolutely insane. Look for Tyler Algier to be big today, but I'm gonna throw in one more because we've got a healthy Nate Landman back.
Yes, sir.
Because Nate Landman is back today. Not only expect him to be your leading tackler, expect that to free up Caden Ellis, and Caden Ellis has 2 sacks today.
Caden and Armada both love the reunited game when it comes to the Saints. That's obviously their team that they came from to come to Atlanta. So always big numbers when it comes to Armada and Caden Ellis. So that hot take there with Caden Ellis getting some sacks, I could dig it.
Speaking of NFC South, we are heading into overtime right now between the 2 sorriest teams I've ever witnessed in my life.
Who?
Panthers and Giants.
The Carolina Cats and the New York Fake Giants. Yeah, but they're contenders, remember. They're contenders.
Oh, man.
They're contenders.
That's why they didn't want to trade their pass rush.
They're contenders.
For that sorry-ass team. Mateo said, I read it wrong. Drake is in. No Lattimore. Kirk, 450 yards. Bijan and Tyler, 200 apiece. 8 touchdowns. Let's go, Birds. Rise the F up. Man, we making history in New Orleans this Sunday, baby.
Well, we bringing out
3
this
receivers
today. Oh, God,
or tight ends with 100 yards.
We bringing out the brooms today, baby. We knocking everything down. It don't matter. It's going to be good.
Goodness gracious, man.
I get excited, man.
Shout out to all the Falcon fans, man. My hot take for today, I'm going with the man, Troy Anderson. I'm going to shock all Falcon fans here. Troy Anderson comes away with another big play. I don't know if it's a fumble. I don't know if it's a sack or if it's an interception, but Troy Anderson makes his presence known today with his bounce-back game against the New Orleans Saints. EQRC says, swipe. My guy Carlos Wiggins in the chat said, yo, Carlos. What's going on, brother? Big Falcon fan. Big dub today here, Carlos. We got to get it. We got to have it here. Week 10. We're getting closer and closer. And, yes, Mateo, Grady Jarrett will play today with an Achilles strain that he had all week. But like Grady is himself, the dog will be on the field today.
And you shall not pass.
So we gave our hot takes. We gave our score predictions last podcast. We can give another one if it's changed here before we get ready to close out. Score predictions, Philip, and then rotate to Cody for today's game that we're officially 20 minutes away from.
I'm still locking in on 35-10, and that is not a prediction. That is a spoiler, so you're going to have to deal with it, baby.
Cody, your score prediction for these Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, not changing from Tuesday. We're going to go up with 7 touchdowns. It's going to be 49-17, and then Koo's going to kick a 45-yard field goal to make it 52-17.
Damn.
With 2 seconds left, too, just to kind of like rub it in their face.
Man, I'll put it like this. Your Atlanta Falcons walk away with the dub today. I said that they take a 14-point lead today. Today is the day that they take a stance and let the NFL know who's the real NFC South divisional leaders. I think the Atlanta Falcons walk away today 28-13. Your dub. The Atlanta Falcons walk away 10. I mean, not 10. I want to say 10-3, guys. Maybe that's a sign to come. 10-3 coming soon.
10-3.
7-3, man. 7-3 is going to look really nice here on that record.
You're talking about record. I was thinking you was saying the score was going to be 10-3. I was saying, what the hell?
Man, even if it's 10-3, as long as we get the see, that's the thing. I don't care. Like, as much as I love to pull these guys out.
Boy, it would be 6-3. I don't care.
Dude, we could get a safety, and it could be 2-0, and I wouldn't care as long as we beat these fools.
Absolutely. Falcon fans, don't go nowhere. DFU will be back live after the week
in the
10.
After party.
What was it, week 10, 6? I don't know.
Week 10.
Week 10. Yeah. Week 10 here in the NFL, guys. It's getting close. It's getting close, man. Week 10 recap show here on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, wherever you can find us at. DFU will be live after the game, man. Shout out to everybody that checked through for the primetime show or the pregame show. Mateo, EQRC, Facebook user, Carlos Wiggins, Sterling Woods, all these Falcon fans that tuned in, ready to watch some Falcon football. Get in your seats because we are officially 19 minutes away from watching these Atlanta Falcons take the field. Falcon fans, tune in with us after this live game. You will catch DFU bringing you your Falcon coverage. Robert will be back with us. 4 different views of what happened today in New Orleans. Be sure to check in with us, man. It's your boys, Philip, Cody, and C-Money. We'll give the shout-outs before we head out, guys. I don't want to cut you guys short. Shout-outs before we get up out of here.
I'm thankful to be here another day. Shout out to God. Shout out to my boys, man. Let's go get this job done, and let's lay the wood on these fools, man. I cannot stand them. All this hate that they've been giving, their fans be giving our fans for actually showing out for once instead of being scared and not putting bags over our heads. So shout out to you guys, man, for running all over New Orleans to make them jealous and just downright mad. So shout out to all you boys that show out today, and let's get this win, baby. Rise up.
Let's get this dub. Cody, brother, keep pounding we that Keeler. Shout outs for today, brother.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna keep it simple. Shout out to the Falcons. Go up there and handle your business, boys. Go get that W and kick some ass.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can catch DFU and the crew right back here after 4 o'clock when the Falcons walk away 7-3. That is not a prediction. That is a spoiler, as my guy Avett says. Falcon fans, hit that like button, leave a comment, tag a Falcon friend to be here after the Falcons W, man. It's your boys from DFU. We up out of here. A-Town down. Rise up. They not like us.